Hey everybody, it is Dr. Ray here, and I have been missing in action for the last couple of Mondays and haven't done my Monday night mimosas, but I want you guys to know that tomorrow night I will be back, okay, doing Monday night mimosas. Tonight, I have to actually talk to you guys about a situation that happened that was really crazy. And I actually do have some eggnog, some spike eggnog, because I had to just let me tell y'all, this was a serious situation that happened to me today. It just happened a few I want to say maybe about an hour ago. Now I want to show you guys my Christmas tree. See my Christmas tree, my beautiful Christmas tree. I had to come home and get me some eggnog and try to relax a little bit. Because I want to share with you guys something that happened while shopping this evening with my daughters. Oh, I had to take some notes, and I left my notes, y'all. Let me grab my pad so I can remember what I'm going to say and talk about. Let me see. Now, I'm going to just say this. This right here was really crazy to me. You know how you watch videos on YouTube and on Facebook and Instagram, and what's that, World Star and the hip hop stuff, and you've seen all these crazy videos and people doing crazy things and these crazy encounters and people talking crazy to people, like, and you watching it, right? And you like, he just really said that to him, or she really just said that, or ooh, he just really slapped the hell out them, right? Like, you're watching it and you can't believe that you're watching it, right? Well, me and my daughter had a real live encounter today, this evening at Walmart. So we shopping, right? We get to the checkout, and you know how we do. You try to find the shortest line or whatever, right? So I'm in one line and she's in another line. Now, the lines are really long, right? So I think there's about 4 people in front of me, probably about 4 people in front of her. Now, she's in line. She's kind of a little bit further. Like, we're not equal in the line, so she's a little bit further than me. And I'm kind of equal with another one of the customers, this white guy, right? Now, Trinity is this is my daughter. She was about 6 feet and maybe 9 feet, because her whole basket, she was behind her basket, and then there was like maybe 3 or 4 feet in between the guy and his basket, right? So the guy says to her, he looks up and he says to her, he says, "Can you put your mask on?" Now, Trinity had her mask, and shoot, I left my mask over there. But anyway, Trinity had her mask on, but it was around her chin, right? Around her neck. Now, I guess he's arranging stuff in his cart or whatever he's doing, because he's arranging stuff. And then, he says to her, "Yeah, can you put your mask on?" And so she looks at him. She doesn't say anything. She looks at me, and I look at her. And then I look at him, right? Now, his back is to me, so he can't, he obviously he doesn't know at this point that her and I are together, right? So I kind of nod to her, to put her mask on, I give her a little nod, right? And she goes to put her mask on, and then he says, "That's just rude." Because now he's still talking while, I guess, because she looked at him and she was like, "Excuse me?" And he said, "Yes, can you put your mask on?" And that's when she looked at me, and then I nodded, and she put her mask on. And he's saying, "That's just rude not to have your mask on." So then I say, now Trinity is talking, we're both talking at the same time, so I can't really hear what she's saying, but she took her mask off then when he said that. So I say, "Sir, that was unnecessary. That's just rude comment is unnecessary because you asked her to put her mask on and she put her mask on. And then so he turns to me, he said, well, she should be wearing her mask just like everybody else in the store and everybody else in the world. She should be having her mask on. It's just rude not to have her mask on. And I said, well, and that's unnecessary for you to say. You don't need to say that it's rude. You asked her to put her mask on and she put her mask on. Right. So now she's still talking. Trinity's still talking. I can't really hear what she's saying. Right. Because now she's basically offended because he's like, that's rude. Now, I'm going to tell you how I feel about this whole situation in a minute, but I'm just going to give you the details of the facts of what happened, right? So while I'm having this exchange with this man, because I'm saying to him, I said, sir, I understand what you're saying. I said, but now you're being extra because all the extra stuff that you're saying after you asked her to put her mask on is unnecessary. It really is unnecessary. Now you're causing a scene, which you don't need to do, right? So then the lady in front of him, which we figured was his wife, turns around and looks at me. And she says, and I quote her words exactly, she should have had her fucking mask on to begin with. Now, I'm holding my grandbaby. I'm holding Mushroom, Trinity's child. And I know how I wanted to respond, but I couldn't even respond, right? Because then Trinity responds. Now, of course, Trinity, young, black, hothead. Trinity is like, bitch, who are you talking to? Nobody is talking to you. You can turn around, mind your business. Or we can take this to the parking lot. Now, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, Trinity, hush. You know, I'm telling her to be quiet. And I told her, I said, look, Karen, nobody even talking to you. So you need to turn around and mind your own business. The guy, who I presume is her husband, because he then tells her to be quiet, the lady, to be quiet. He then turns around to Trinity and he's like, are you threatening my wife? Are you threatening my wife? And I said to him, I said, nobody's threatening your wife. And Trinity is saying, no, I'm not threatening your wife. I said, we can take this conversation to the parking lot. And then he says it again, are you threatening my wife? So now I get louder, so I can get his attention because now he's like sideways to me. I said, sir, nobody is threatening your wife. Like I said, nobody is threatening your wife. First of all, it was not even necessary for her to even say anything. It wasn't necessary for you to make the comment that you made. You're just making a scene. You're trying to make a scene. Now, mind you, then he says, if Trinity didn't put on her mask, that he was going to call security. And I'm like, okay, sir, you're really being unnecessary now. You're really being unnecessary. So I'm talking to him because at this point, I'm like really trying not to be upset, right? Like not really like lose my temper because I'm holding the baby. And I'm glad I was holding the baby because the baby kept me grounded, you know? I mean, I know how to spit with the best of them, you know? I know how to do my words. Y'all know I'm a writer. And, you know, I can cut somebody up from head to toe without even blinking an eye or swinging a fist or anything, right? But I couldn't because I'm trying to calm Trinity down, right? So I can't really, in my opinion, put these two people in their place for being out of line because I'm trying to, you know, control Trinity. So I'm talking, I'm trying to get my words together. I'm like, sir, you're really being extra and this is not necessary. And he's going, yeah, and Merry Christmas to you too, right? So I said, okay, I'm cool, sir. As long as you keep talking, then I'll keep talking. I don't have a problem with it. We can talk all day about it, right? So he doesn't say anything. So me and Trinity, we're just standing there and I'm not saying nothing, but I'm like, I'm listening, waiting. You got something else to say? Do you have something else to say? So behind me, another white guy gets in line. Tall white guy. Looks like he could have been a Marine or a basketball player. I mean, dude was tall and he was pretty buff, right? He has on, I guess, like this scarf-like thing around his neck, but he has no mask on, right? So Trinity says, Mama, look, that man behind you, he doesn't have on a mask. So I turn around. And so I said to the gentleman, I said, this man don't have a mask. Would you want to tell him to put his mask on? He doesn't have on a mask, sir. Oh, of course not. So the guy ignores me, doesn't say anything, right? I said, of course not. You don't want to say anything because, hey, he's white and we're black people. So you don't want to say anything to him, right? So he's talking, but he's not talking to me. He's talking straight ahead. He's like, it has nothing to do with color. Well, why don't you turn around and tell this man to put his mask on? So his wife turns around and she says to the man behind me, she says, sir, can you please put on your mask? The man ignores her. The man ignores her, doesn't say anything. So Trinity says to the man that's standing behind us, Trinity's like, look, because the man, like, he just kind of put his head down. He looked away, he was ignoring the woman. And Trinity proceeded to tell the guy, look, I was minding my business like you minding your business. And the man asked me to put on my mask. And basically we proceeded to tell the man, what had just happened, right? And so the man goes, yeah, it's unfortunate that people are like that, Really, he said, this time, this day and age that we're in right now, it just seems like it brings out the worst in people. And I'm like, yeah, and it's unnecessary. You know what I mean? It's the holidays, and it's unnecessary. For what he did to cause a scene and be all extra truly was not necessary. So after we had that little conversation with the guy, I tell Trinity, I said, hey, get out of line, come in line with me, because I don't want the man to say nothing else to you. Because we were starting to move up, right? And I didn't want her to get caught in the line and other people behind her. Now she's stuck, in between the aisles and can't get out, right? So I'm like, hey, just come get in line with me. And so as she's getting in line with me, then here comes security, right? So now here comes security. Now security is a black lady and a Hispanic man. So she walks up to us. She's like, so is everything okay? What's the problem? Right. So Trinity proceeds to tell her what happened. Right. And so then I chime in. Right. And I said, and then he says how rude, which is unnecessary because she put her mask on. Right. And the security guard says, we can't make you put your mask on. We can ask you to put your mask on, but if you don't want to wear your mask, we can't make you. Interesting. And then he turns around and he says, then she threatens my wife. She threatens she's threatened my wife. And I said, no, she didn't threaten your wife, but she didn't say anything to your wife until your wife opened her mouth and said, and I said to the security guard, the wife said she should have had her fucking mask on anyway, or from the beginning. Now, and I said to the security guard, I said, what makes people think that they can talk to people like that and then not gonna have somebody say something back to them? Who, you think you could just talk to people any kind of way? Right? And the security guard was like, I'm so sorry. I do apologize for that, but they seem to be quiet now. I'm really sorry. But I told the security guard that Trinity was running off at the mouth and said, well, we can take it to the parking lot. The security guard was like, yeah, that's not worth it. It's not worth it. And I said, you're right. It's not worth it. That's why I told her to be quiet. It's not worth it. Just be quiet, because Karen and John over there all up in somebody else's business. Okay. And I pointed out they didn't say nothing to the white man standing behind me, who still does not have a mask on and didn't pull up his he had a scarf around his neck that looked like wherever he had been, he probably had it up. But when he was in Walmart, he didn't have it up. Right. So of course, this put all of us on, just now the adrenaline is like running. Right. So I'm trying to calm Trinity down, and I'm like, it's all good. So, and the security, they were like, we're really sorry. And the security guard told the man, because the man I couldn't hear everything that he was saying, but he said something to her. And the security guard said, but sir, your comment was unnecessary. You didn't have to say that. She put her mask on. So you did not have to say anything. And so I can appreciate that, right? Because when you're dealing with people, human resources, people, interaction, and being in those types of roles, you have to be able to hear and see and know the difference between right and wrong, and distribute justice equally and rightfully, right? So I'm glad that she, and I don't think that she said it just because she was black, because people, the store is full of people, right? And everybody is looking, and this man and this woman just felt it necessary to talk crazy, and and Trinity, my poor baby, I had to tell her, you have to get your temper under control. You really do. Because it is these types of individuals, it's these kinds of people that feel like they can say whatever they want and push people's buttons and then want to call security or call the police and play the victim, right? This is what I call, and maybe other people call this too, white privilege. Now, they didn't know that I was with Trinity. The white man didn't know I was with Trinity when he said something to her, because she was in the line with him and I was in the other line. So you see this young Black female by herself in line, and then you say something to her about her mask. Now, you don't know what was going on with her. Maybe she has asthma and she had to leave the mask off every 10 minutes or so. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe she's claustrophobic, or you don't know what's going on. But he felt empowered. He felt he had the right. He felt like he was, he had the courage, right, to say something to her. Then the wife. Now, wasn't nobody cussing? Me and the man was talking. Yes, it was an argument, but he didn't cuss. I didn't cuss. Trinity didn't cuss. Wasn't no words cursing going on. She turned herself around and say she should have had her fucking mask on in the first place. Okay. Now you didn't take it to the next level, right? Here, Walmart. Why? And I think both me and Trinity was like, is this really happening? This is really happening, And I'm like, truly, I'm thinking, okay, there's got to be some candid cameras around here. This woman did not just say this and said it bold, right? Like she was just going to say that and nothing going to happen from her saying that. Now, I could not respond the way I wanted to because I'm trying to calm Trinity down. I'm like, okay, be quiet. No, don't say that. We live in a different times. You can't be talking about taking stuff to the parking lot. No, don't do that, right? And I'm telling, no, she ain't threatening your wife. But your wife needs to mind her own business, Karen. And I did call her that and looked straight at her. You need to mind your own business, Karen, because ain't nobody talking to you. Okay? That's not what I wanted to say. I wanted to say a lot more. I wanted to say, first of all, to both of them, everybody is grown in this right here, this little circle, this little situation right here. We all grown. So if we choose not to wear our masks, we have that right. So turn around and mind your own business. And the threat of you getting security, still free country. And guess what? You don't work for Walmart, sir. You are a customer. And she was more than 6 feet away from you. So now I'm out and about at Walmart. Don't have my phone. Don't have my phones. I left both of my phones at home, right? Trinity starts to record after the whole situation happened. But if I would have had my phone, I would have pulled it out and started recording. That's the whole situation. Because I really could not believe that this was happening. So now here I am. I get my family to their, my daughters and my grandbabies to their place. And I'm driving home and I'm just thinking, I'm like, okay, you know what? I got to do a video. This right here is... It's crazy. It's so much. And it's to me, it's bigger than the white privilege thing, because the white privilege is in there, I feel. Because he sure in the hell didn't say nothing to the white man standing behind me. His wife said something, but his ass that said something to Trinity, punk. He a punk ass, didn't say nothing to the white man, but you want to say something to a young Black girl. But your wife, now, I guess she was with it. She turned around and said something to the white man, whom he ignored her. Okay. So now I'm thinking about this, right? I'm processing all that happened, thinking about it. I'm like, wow. Yes, I have to do a video when I get home because I have something to say. You know, I have not really shared much about my thoughts about the COVID and all this situation and all the stuff that's going on, you know, but I want to share my thoughts about this foolishness. Now, let me say this first of all. I do believe that COVID is real, whether I believe it or not, it's real, right? Okay, people are getting sick from it. People have passed away from it, and may they rest in peace. And I'm so sorry. My heart goes out to all of those families who have lost someone because of this virus. It's horrible. It's horrible that so many businesses and mom and pop shops have lost their livelihood, lost their life savings, having to close their doors and file bankruptcy, and all of this foolishness that this has caused. And it is bigger. It is so much bigger than just this one virus, whom the governments and the powers that be put on everybody. They put this crap out there. They spreaded it. They did it. And it's so many, not just allegations, but there's so many things that have been proven where this virus came from, who put it out there, who started it, for what, for, and all. And there's conspiracy theories as well. You know what? I don't even care about that. I don't care about the conspiracy theories. I don't care that the government did it. I don't care where it came from. The fact of the matter is that the government is playing on people's fears. They're playing on people's fears. And they have caused so many people's lives to be ruined and destroyed. Now, you talk about the mask. Okay. And I'm going to tell you right now, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, that's totally up to you. Okay. Some people will say, oh, how irresponsible are they for not wearing a mask? You need to wear a mask. And okay. People, if this disease, and I say if, because we keep hearing all kinds of different things about it. So yes, if, I'm going to say if. And let me say this. I've known several people that the doctors have told them that they have COVID. Okay. And I've known some that didn't have any symptoms, but they told them they had COVID. I know some that have had the symptoms, right? And each one of their doctors, about 4 different people that I know, 4 different doctors have told them 4 different things about what to do and how long you need to be quarantined and how you got it and all this other stuff. 4 different doctors, 4 different explanations. Okay. So they all can't even get on the same page, first of all. Okay. If this thing is truly airborne, right? And if this thing, COVID-19, this virus, lives on surfaces, okay, then a mask is truly not going to keep you from getting it. It's not going to keep me from getting it if this thing is airborne. And so why is that? Okay, well, let's see. Why is that? Okay, I have a mask. I think I left it over here. Okay, I have several different masks, but let's look at this mask because they all do the same thing, right? You put it on your face. So if I put this mask on, I have the mask on, right? Now, air is going to get in up here, up at the top. Air is going to get in underneath the bottom. Air is going to get in from the ear side, from where the thing go around the ear. I'm still breathing. I'm still breathing air. So it's going to get in me if it's airborne, right? So who is the mask protecting? Who is the mask protecting? But okay, we'll play that game. We'll play that game. Because they say the mask is going to slow down COVID. Okay. Now they say it lives on surfaces. Okay. Here's my thing with that. People, those of you who are truly, you're scared, you're paranoid, it's killing people. I don't want to die. I don't want my loved one to die. I don't want to get sick. I don't want my loved one to get sick. So you super duper paranoid. Okay. And I can only imagine that Karen and John, the two people that was in Walmart that had the courage to say something to Trinity, that they were a little paranoid too, right? But I'm going to say this to all of my followers and all those who hear and see this video, okay? If you are one of those people, if you are truly one of those people that feel that people should wear their mask no matter what, every time you go into a public place, you should wear your mask because you are helping to rid COVID or helping to do your part for COVID. And you feel like you have the right to say something to another person that you don't know, a stranger, and ask them to put on their mask, I want you to think about something, okay? And then I want you to do something, though. I want you to do something, then I want you to think about it, right? If you're not already doing it, I want you to think about this. If this disease lives on surfaces, okay, I can only assume that you, sir or ma'am, that have the courage to ask another person to put on their mask, I can only assume that you carry around a bottle of Clorox wipes and a bottle of, what's that stuff we put on our hands? Now I can't even think of the doggone word. But y'all know we germ fighting stuff that we put on the hands. Shoot, why the word escapes me. But y'all know what I'm trying to say. So I can only assume that every time you walk out your house, every surface that you touch, you clean before you touch. Right? You clean every doorknob. You clean every handle. Your car door is clean. Every time you bend down, you drop something on the ground and you go to pick it up, that you use hand sanitizer. There it is. You use sanitizer and you clean your hands with Clorox wipes, right? When you go out to eat, you actually re-clean the seats and the table and the chair that you're about to sit on. Oh, we're not even going to talk about your dirty money, paper and coins. Oh, yeah. So you don't pay nothing with cash, right? You pay everything on a credit card and your credit card is clean, right? So everything that you come in contact with, you clean before you touch it, because COVID is supposed to live on surfaces, right? So before you have the nerve or the audacity to open your mouth to a stranger to ask them to pull up their mask or put on a mask, please be sure that you, ma'am and sir, is doing your part, right? Which is cleaning everything and wearing your gloves. Like, you can't forget, you don't go out the house without gloves. Quit playing. You wear gloves everywhere you go. Because COVID, you can get it from touching the surface. It lives on surfaces. Okay? It's foolishness and it's bullshit. And that's coming from Pastor Ray, Dr. Ray, Life Coach Ray, Inspirational Speaker Ray, Mommy Ray, Sister Ray, Auntie Ray, Daughter Ray. I'm coming straight from the heart. It's foolishness. People think they have the right to try to control other people. Mind your business and live your life. If you don't want to encounter somebody who's not wearing their mask, stay at home. Order your stuff online and have it delivered. That's what you do. But all these people talking about, you got your mask on, where are you going? You got your mask on, please. People, it's airborne, right? So you're going to get it whether you wear your mask or not, because guess what? The air is getting in from the top and underneath and on the side. Hello, news flash. Now, if you want to be out in the public and you don't want to get it, baby, get an oxygen tank and put the whole globe mask thing on, the whole thing on, and suction it up, put your whole suit on. You know how the hazmat people do? So you make sure you don't get it, because the mask is not keeping you from getting it. So stop with all this damn foolishness. People have the right not to wear a mask. Anyway, yeah, so I was pretty livid after I rode home and just really thought about this stuff, thought about the government and how they are playing us to play against each other and causing this hysteria, and how they have ruined so many people's lives. COVID didn't ruin so many people's lives. The government did. The way they handled it, the way the whole situation went down. We should not be fighting each other. We should not be tripping with each other over a mask that ain't keeping nothing from you. You are not protecting yourself, nor are you protecting anybody else. It's a breathable mask, and you're breathing the air and it's coming up. Yeah, and if it lives on the surface, we're touching everything every day. Yes. Now, there are people who are doing exactly what I said, wear gloves everywhere they go. There are those people that's doing that. Hand sanitizer everywhere they go. Got a box of Clorox wipes everywhere they go. That's cool. That's cool. But for the most part, people aren't doing that. I honestly have been out and been to several places and ain't seen nothing there. Nobody have on no doggone gloves. Nobody. I don't know them people. And I've seen people that don't have on masks. I wear my mask because I don't want nobody to say nothing to me, because I don't want to have this conversation with them. And again, I couldn't tell Karen and John that because I was over here trying to calm Trinity down. But in any case, y'all, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow for Monday night mimosas. Okay. And please just remember what I said. Everybody has a right. This is America. This is a free country. Free. As much as it can be free. But y'all get my point. Everybody has a right to do whatever it is that they want to do. Long as you are not infringing on another person's space or body, physically touching them. You big, bad, grown enough to do whatever it is that you want to do. Speak, say whatever you want to out your mouth. But remember, for every action, there is a reaction, right? I'm not one to promote violence. I don't like violence, I spoke to my daughter and I told her she has to find a calmer way to handle things. Use your words. Your mama is a writer. Okay? She's a preacher. She's a speaker. Listen to mama. Use your words. They want to show out. Easily put them in their place with their words. It's not necessary, people. Violence is not necessary. But it happens. It happens. And we as a people have to learn how to handle things better other than violence. Let people talk, but use your words. And if you don't have a big vocabulary, pick up the dictionary, pick up an encyclopedia, pick up a thesaurus, pick up a book and learn some new words, honey. Because when you shut people down with words and you use words that they don't even know and you shut them up, Ain't no coming back. And you don't have to get in trouble. You don't have to fight. You don't have to go to jail. You don't have to get shot. You don't have to get belligerent, right? You don't have to make people feel threatened. Put them in their place. Anyway, again, thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. I love you guys. Tomorrow, Monday Night Mimosas. Peace. Bye.